Sri Shairam. Welcome to Sri Satya Sai Loka Seva Gurukulam. We are going to see the fifth session on our series, that is History of Life on Earth. Shall we proceed further? First we will see the home assignment answers. Hope you have completed your previous assignments and you are looking the next assignment. We will see that today. The first question is, what is the primordial soup? In the prehistoric time, the shallow water was having so many different kind of building blocks and amino acid were present, right? That is what we have learnt last time. So, based on that you have to compose your answer. In the prebiotic earth, the important organic matter such as amino acid and other building blocks of lives were present in high concentration. Okay, that is the first answer. The second answer is, explain Haldane and Oparin theory about origin of life on earth, right? That is, Haldane and Oparin believed the origin of life on earth happened in the primordial soup. We will see the third question now. Explain the experiment conducted by Stanley Miller and Harold Urey. The answer for that question is, Miller and Urey built a closed system containing a heated pool of water which is mixed with gases such as methane, ammonia and hydrogen in solution. Then they pass an electrical charge which stimulate the lightning which happened in the earlier days of the earth. And through the flask they conducted that experiment for a week, right? Then later they could able to find amino acid, sugar, lipid and other organic molecules formed inside the flask. This was the experiment conducted by them. Now we will see the fourth question. Explain the various hypotheses which talks about the origin of life. We have four different hypotheses learnt last time. The first one is Miller and Urey model. Second is the gene first hypothesis, where they explain gene came first into the environment, and then metabolism first hypothesis, where metabolic intermediates came into existence in the earlier earth, and the last one is the organic compound could have been delivered to earth by meteoroids and other celestial objects. Now we will see today's learning objective. Today we are going to learn diversification of life and Darwin's contribution in the diversification of life. Diversification of life started in the very first time, where we could able to see a very simple kind of organism started originating. These simple organisms, they lacked the cell nucleus and they were very simple in organization. Here we have a diagram of a bacteria where you can able to see the cytoplasm, where the ribosomes are also present, and then it did not have a nucleus, instead it was having a nucleoid. That is a DNA, that is a genetic material which act as, and it is having a nucleoid which is the DNA for that cell. And apart from that, it has various other structures which is present on the cell surface, that you will learn it in the higher classes. Then a little complex organism started originating on the earth. They are known as eukaryotes. Eukaryote means it is having a true nucleus, where you can able to see the nucleus in the cell. In the later time, a big thing happened in the earth, that is known as Cambrian explosion or Cambrian radiation, during which different kind of organisms started originating on earth. In this diagram you can able to see different life forms originated on the earth, and the different kind of organisms are living in the same environment. You can able to see it, right? This is in the shallow waters. You can able to see some of the sponges, and then you can able to see some of the poriferan organisms and crustaceans and the insects also crawling around, right? So, why it is known as Cambrian explosion? Because during that time many organisms thrived and we could able to get the fossil organism of these organisms in a very large quantity. Repeat, during that time many organisms are originated and then we could able to get the fossil records of the same. when we are talking about evolution, we have to talk about Darwin, right? This is a picture of Darwin, and Darwin, he was in his earlier stages, he was forced by his father to become a doctor. Otherwise, he has to become a clerk, like the father was insisting. But his idea was he wanted to explore the earth, and he wanted to do voyages, and he wanted to know about different kind of organism which is present on the earth. So he got a very big chance, and then he took a voyage in HMS Beagle, and then he roamed around the world. He could able to go to Galapagos Island, and then where he was impressed, like different kind of life forms were thriving in that environment, and he could able to see blue-footed bobbies, and then giant tortoises, can able to see the figures as well, and then he could able to see finches as well. We may be thinking about what is finches. Finches are very small birds like a sparrow, and we could able to see different kind of finches which is present in the same island. It was a very small island. We could able to see many different kind of birds which was present in that. In that species, some of the birds were having a beak which is larger, and they ate the larger seeds, and then some of the birds which were having a very tough beak, those who ate the insects which were present in the barks of the leaf, so it has to break open the bark, and then some had a very thin and sharp beaks. Based on the habitat and the food what we have taken, the beak size varied. Now we are coming to the final detection, where organisms tend to produce more offspring than it can survive. With an example, we will see that now the frog lays around 2000 eggs. In that, only 400 survives into a tadpole. In that, 1 out of 50 will become a frog. So you can able to imagine how many eggs it lays and how many adult it can able to get, right? The population tend to remain constant for a long period of time. If there is any error which happens now, it will disturb the whole environment. And then organism in a species shows a wide variation. Each organism will be different, right? You are different from your own sister and brother, right? So we can able to see this variations which is present in each and every organism. Some of the variation will get inherited. We can able to see some of the characters of our fathers and mothers, we can able to present in us also. Based on all this observation, Darwin proposed, and he observed, and he told about all those things as a theory that is known as theory of evolution of natural selection. So now we will see more about natural selection. Natural selection means some of the trait which will become a more common in a population or in the organism, and some will become less common. The trait that became more common are the one which is adaptive, and it will keep increasing in the population. For an example, the long neck of the giraffe. We will see here the diagram of the giraffe during its evolution. The giraffes were having a very short neck, like you can imagine like a tiny horse or a pony, and then the neck started increasing its size because it lived in an environment where more number of trees were present. To avoid competition with other herbivorous animal, it tend to take the leaves from the trees. So it need a very long neck, so it can able to reach the leaves which is present in a tall trees, and it could able to survive in that environment, right, without any competition. So that is what we are seeing here, and eventually the short necked giraffes were eliminated during evolution. It vanished, only the long neck ones were surviving. Similarly, we could able to see the next example where we are having two different fur color which is present in the mice population. One was black and other one was tan color. The black color mice and the tan color mice both were present in a rock where it was black in color. And since the mice is also black and the surroundings, that is the rock is also black, the predator could not able to see those mice properly, but they could able to see the mice which were tan in color, that is little fader in color. Okay, so all those mice were eaten up, most of the mice were eaten up by the predator like eagle or the other animals. Okay, then in that population when we are seeing, eventually the black color mice population increased, and over a course of time we could able to see only that black color mice which is present in the black color rock. We have one more example where we can able to see the owls. In that owl, there are two different population was present. The owls we know, right? It is known as nocturnal animal, that is it will be very active during its night time, and it will catch all the prey and it will go and eat all those things, right? So when we are seeing the owl, there were two different kind of eyesights these owls were having. One can able to see during the night, so night vision was proper. The other one could not able to see properly in the night time. Eventually when we are seeing, the gene which is responsible for night vision started increasing, and the owls which could not able to see in the night got eliminated. Eventually all the owls which is in the population tend to see the prey properly during the night time. So that character is selected and that character is existing, and then it is keep transmitted to the next generation. With another example, we will see this natural selection. It is like overall you can able to understand it properly. Here we can able to see two different colors of the beetle which is present in the environment. One is green color, the other one is brown color. And the birds which is preying on this beetle tend to eat the green color beetles, and it feels like it is very tasty, and they can able to take more beetles also. Similarly, the brown color beetles were not taken by the birds, and eventually the number of brown color beetles tend to increase, and then finally we could able to left with only the brown color beetle in the environment. Now we will see what is the diversity of life resulted from the evolution. Since most of the offsprings do not survive, all organisms must going through a very struggle in their life, that is for food, or it will act as a prey, right? It will be eaten by the other animal, and it is suffering from certain diseases, right? In earlier days we can be able to see so many different kind of diseases happen in human population also, right? And then there will be a competition among the different organism of the same species in the environment also. Because of all this struggle, it is eaten by others, and because of the disease and competition, most of the organism will tend to eliminate from the environment, and then there will be always a struggle. The struggle for existence cause large number of individuals to die in that environment, and the ones which is surviving, which had some character which is facilitated by the nature, and those organisms tend to reproduce, and they produce the better offsprings, and that better character is transferred among the species, so the organism tend to survive in the environment. Now we will see the home assignment for this session. Explain Cambrian explosion. Which island Darwin visited during his voyage in HMS Beagle? Sometimes you can able to see which name the ship in which he travelled also. So you just make sure that you remember each and every word in that Darwin voyage. Define the term theory of evolution by natural selection. Hope you understand everything properly, students, and we will meet in the next session. Om Sri Sai Ram.